Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Crystal. Thank you so much for clicking on this video and joining me today. So today's video is going to be the mom tag. I have seen this video done by several other moms here on YouTube and I love watching these kind of videos, so I decided that I wanted to make my own video. So I have all the questions written down here, so let's go ahead and get started. So number one, how old were you when you had your baby? So I was 34 when I had Jacob. I had him 1 month before I turned 35. He was born on September 18th and my birthday is October 31st. What was the hardest part about being pregnant? So the hardest thing about being pregnant for me, I think, was towards the end of my 9 months. Honestly, I don't think I had a particularly difficult pregnancy. Emotionally wise, I think the hard part was when you have to take tests and you're nervous about the results. Those are always hard times to go through. My little guy did have to go and be seen at a perinatal specialist because we do have a heart condition that runs in our family. So that was something that was hard, but after a certain point, the doctors can tell you whether or not your little one is at risk for it, and so luckily my little guy was not. Other than that, I think physically the hardest part was, like I said, towards the end of my pregnancy, about the end of the 8th month into the 9th month. I think it was because he dropped so quickly, or not so quickly, but he dropped so early that my pelvic area was really sore and it was hard to walk sometimes. There were times when I was going from like the living room to the kitchen or from the living room to the bedroom, and I would have to hold on to my husband because I could not move my legs. The joints hurt so much. But other than that, I don't think that there was anything that was really hard about my pregnancy. What did you enjoy most during pregnancy? There was a lot that I enjoyed. I enjoyed just feeling him kicking. I enjoyed seeing my belly grow. I enjoyed going to the sonogram meetings and seeing him on the big screen. I enjoyed the maternity clothes. I enjoyed showing off my big old belly. I just enjoyed everything about it. In your opinion, were the things you heard about childbirth accurate or way off? I would definitely say they were accurate. Pretty much all I heard from childbirth is that it hurts, and it definitely hurt. Up until I got my epidural, I was in a heck of a lot of pain. So I think everything was pretty accurate and not over-exaggerated. Would you handle childbirth differently if you could do it over again? Yes. I think the only thing that I would do differently is that I would get the epidural as soon as they gave me Pitocin. One of my friends told me to get the epidural as soon as possible. That if you are not planning on having a natural birth without the pain relief, then there's no reason to go through any type of pain, and to get the epidural as soon as possible. And I remember going and telling the nurse that I wanted my epidural as soon as I could get it, and she said, oh yeah, we'll give it to you as soon as you can, and they didn't. They gave me the Pitocin, and I think it was maybe within an hour, because I know it kicks in pretty quickly. I think it was within an hour I started feeling the contractions, and I had told her that I wanted the epidural as soon as I could get it, and they didn't give it to me, and so I had to go through an hour of contractions, and that is the most painful thing I have ever experienced, and I have absolutely no idea how women can give birth without an epidural. I couldn't do it. That 1 hour was just agony. So definitely get the epidural as soon as you can. What is your advice for someone about to have a baby? So my advice would be to, one, get the epidural, but until you get to the hospital, just enjoy every minute of it. Take as many pictures of your belly as you would want to. Honestly, I didn't take any pictures of my belly except maybe, I think I took maybe 4 or 5 pictures of my stomach. I didn't really have any interest in doing the whole, you know, 1, 2, 3 month countdown, but like I said, just take lots of pictures, enjoy every moment of it, and get that epidural. What is the hardest thing about being a mom? So I think the hardest thing is obviously in the beginning, the sleep deprivation is really hard in the beginning, but honestly, other than that, I don't really think that I have anything that's like really like hard or difficult to say about it. Obviously your time isn't your time anymore. Everything goes to your child, but again, that's not something that is hard because you love your little guy or your little girl and you want them to be first. I guess the hardest would be, you know, you're always second guessing if you're doing something right or you're doing something wrong, if, you know, if you're switching a formula or if you're switching from breastfeeding to formula feeding, you know, you question if you're doing the right choice and that sort of thing. So I think that's the hardest part, is just constantly questioning yourself if you are making a good choice for your little one, is the hardest thing for me. So what has been the most rewarding thing about being a mom? So I think the most rewarding thing about being a mom is just seeing my little guy grow and seeing him doing new things every day. I feel like ever since he hit 10 months, he has just been doing something different every single day. Like one day he is barely crawling and just dragging his stomach on the floor, and then the next day he is power crawling across the floor. The next day he's pulling himself up, eating solid food. So I think that's the most rewarding thing, is just seeing everything that he's accomplishing in such a short period of time. Most surprising thing you learned about being a mom? I think the most surprising thing I learned about being a mom is just how quickly you become a mom. Like your mindset changes, your priorities change, and I think that is what surprised me the most. I think when I was pregnant, I did have some worries of what if I wasn't going to do a good job? What if I wasn't going to, I don't know, I had worries. How do I say it? Like, what if I just wasn't ready? I don't know how to say that. But yeah, I was really surprised at just how quickly becoming a mom came to me and how natural it felt. And I also think that that comes with age. Like I said, I had him right before I turned 35, so obviously to have my first child, that is kind of late, you know, kind of later than most people. And so I think having I think just being older made that transition a lot easier. Most exciting milestone, that would have to be, I can't pick just one. I think everything that Jacob does is just so exciting for me. When he started crawling, when he started lifting his head when he was just a couple months old, when he started sitting up by himself, everything that he does is just exciting. Worst thing your child has ever done? Jacob is only 10 months old, so I don't really think this question goes with him, because he hasn't really had the opportunity to do anything bad, and even if he did, he's only 10 months old, so it wouldn't be classified as bad. But I don't know, everything he does is wonderful. So there was, let's see, there was one time that we were in Bernie at a restaurant, and this wasn't his fault, but the waitress, and I don't know why she did this, put a bottle of beer right in front of him, and he swung his arm and knocked it over, and thank goodness it was a beer in the bottle and not a glass, so it didn't pour out that much. But yeah, that's the closest thing I can think of to say for this. My poor little man had spilled the beer on the table, some of it got on his arm, so Thank goodness it didn't get on. Thank goodness it did not get onto any of his clothing. Nobody wants a baby smelling like beer, but I think that's the only thing I could answer for that. What habit do you wish your child didn't have? Again, 10 months old. He doesn't have any bad habits. If anything, the only thing that I would hope that would be easy to break from him is using his pacifier. He uses the pacifier throughout the day, when he's gonna go to sleep, when he gets fussy. So I guess that's the only thing that I could say I hope he breaks easily, but he doesn't really have a habit that I would not want him to have. Do you share any similarities with your child, both physically and personality wise? Definitely both. I think Jacob is a good mix of me and my husband. He does have features of both of us, but definitely he has my hair. He has long, wispy, light brown hair that he definitely got from me. He is also my complexion. My husband is a lot more tanned than I am. And so Jacob is very fair in comparison, so he definitely has my skin tone. I would definitely say that he has my nose, and I want to say my eyes as well, but he definitely has my husband's chin, and he also has my husband's smile. When he smiles, you can definitely see a similarity to my husband. And personality wise, I think that Jacob is a good mix of both of us. Me and my husband are very quiet, I would say, and independent. Like, we don't need to be around a lot of people. We can kind of just hang out on our own, like not on our own together, but like I can just be at home by myself and be perfectly content, and same thing with him. And I can definitely see that in Jacob when he wakes up in the morning, as well as when he wakes up throughout the day from his naps, or if he's just in his playpen by himself. I am able to leave the room and he does not freak out. He doesn't get upset. He doesn't start crying. He's able to entertain himself for a good amount of time and just be happy on his own. So that's definitely something that I see in both me and my husband. Where would you like your child to be in 10 years? In 10 years, I think I just really want Jacob to be doing good in school. I want him to perhaps be in a sport. I know my husband is really big on football and really wants Jacob to be in football. I'm not really too sure which school we are going to be sending him to, just because in our area there are a couple options. Obviously there is public school, and then there are charter schools, and one of the schools that is in our area that I really like is called IDEA. I don't know if there is an IDEA near y'all, but IDEA is basically a private school, but it's for free, and it's very academically driven. The only downside is that they don't have extracurriculars, or at least I'm not aware that they have extracurriculars. I know that they don't do sports, and this school does go up into high school, so if he stays in IDEA, if that's where we want to put him, which I do believe that's where we want to put him, then he would have to do sports in an outside organization. But yes, I guess, like I said, in 10 years, I just want him to be happy, healthy, doing good in school, and I mean, what else do you want for a 10-year-old? Did you imagine you would be a mom at the age you became a mom? I think generally, yes. I knew I wasn't going to be a young mom because I knew that I had like career goals that I wanted to accomplish first, and I knew that I wanted to be you know, financially stable, you know, as much as one can be, really. I wanted to go to college first, get my career started, you know, have everything in place, be married, you know, all that good stuff. So I definitely did not see myself as a young mom, definitely not in my 20s, but not 34 or older. with my first, I think I saw myself having my first child maybe like 31 or 32, which is, I guess, pretty much generally the same age as I had my little guy. Describe your child in a single sentence. Jacob is sweet, funny, adorable, silly, and perfect. How have you changed after becoming a mom? I think I have become more patient. I was a pre-K teacher for 10 years before I became a mom, and so I've always been patient with children, but I think with Jacob, obviously, it's completely different. I think the biggest difference and the biggest change that I've noticed in myself is that, like I said, I'm more patient, and I've always been a worrier. Like, I've always worried about things, so I don't think that's too different. But yeah, I think just the patience is the biggest difference. Alright guys, so that is it for this video. If you guys are moms and you want to go ahead and make this video, I definitely recommend doing so. I would love to see your video. And if you guys are not yet subscribed to my channel, please make sure that you subscribe and hit that bell and give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And if you guys are returning subscribers, thank you so much for coming back and watching my videos. I truly appreciate it. I will see you guys back in a couple of days in a new video. Bye!